On a quiet hill in Louisville, Kentucky, stands a structure frozen in time, the Waverly Hills Sanatorium. What began as a beacon of hope for tuberculosis patients in the early 20th century soon became a place of despair, misery, and mystery. Today it's known as one of the most haunted locations in America. But before we dive into the paranormal, let's uncover some real history behind this infamous site. The rise and fall of Waverly Hills Sanatorium. In 1910, a small wooden sanatorium was built on Waverly Hill. Tuberculosis, or the White Plague, had ravaged through communities in the early 1900s in America. Louisville, with its humid climate and growing population, was hit especially hard. But the need for a larger facility soon became evident. By 1926, the Waverly Hills Sanatorium opened its doors officially. The massive structure was able to hold up to 400 patients. Treatment was experimental and often gruesome. Chest surgeries, fresh pneumothorax, and even exposure to fresh air in the dead winter. While some patients recovered, many did not. A chilling element of Waverly Hills was its infamous body chute. It was a tunnel designed originally to move supplies, but later it was used to discreetly move patients throughout the hospital, keeping the moral high among the living. In 1943, a breakthrough changed everything. The discovery of streptomycin, the first effective antibiotic against tuberculosis. It led to the dramatic decline in cases. No longer was there a need for sprawling tuberculosis hospitals. In 1961, the Waverly Hills Sanatorium officially closed its doors, and its remaining patients were transferred to Hazelwood Sanatorium in Louisville. But that was far from the end of Waverly's story. 1 year later, the facility reopened as Woodhaven Geriatric Center. It was basically a nursing home for elderly patients with dementia, mobility issues, and even severe mental handicaps. What was supposed to be a case of care quickly turned into mistreatment and neglect. Understaffed, overcrowded, and underfunded, Woodhaven failed to provide even the basic needs for its residents. Reports surfaced of unsanitary conditions, inhumane treatments, and even patient abuse. Eventually in 1980, the state of Kentucky shut it down for good. But the horrors left behind would only add to Waverly's reputation as a place of suffering. Over the next 2 decades, various plans were proposed for Waverly Hills. In 1983, developer J. Clifford Todd purchased the site in hopes of turning it into a minimum security prison. Local residents protested, forcing him to scrap the idea altogether. He then proposed turning it into apartments, but the funding never materialized. In the 1990s, Robert Alhahaski had a more divine vision. It was inspired by Rio de Janeiro's Christ the Redeemer statue. He wanted to put a giant 150-foot Jesus statue on top of the sanatorium. Alongside of it, he planned an arts and worship center. However, financial troubles only doomed the project, and after a year, only $3,000 was raised and the plan was scrapped in 1997. In 2001, a couple named Tina and Charlie purchased the sanatorium. Rather than demolishing the building, they embraced its haunted history. They began offering ghost tours, overnight investigations, and a haunted house every Halloween. These events only drew thrill seekers, but it provided much of the funding for its much-needed restoration. Slowly but surely, the couple has been working to preserve the sanatorium's history, restoring its windows and interior while still maintaining the scary charm. Today, the sanatorium is listed under a historic site and continues to be a destination for those fascinated by the paranormal. Waverly Hills' haunted reputation has been fueled by stories for decades. Many tourists report seeing shadowy figures, hearing disembodied voices, and hearing unexplained noises throughout the place. Some claim to have seen Timmy, a young boy who rolls a ball throughout the hallways. Others speak of a creeper, a dark entity that crawls along the walls and the ceiling. The infamous tunnel that was once used to discreetly transport bodies has become one of the hot spots for paranormal activity. Today it's remained one of the most feared locations in the building. Over the years, Waverly Hills Sanatorium has been featured on countless ghost hunting TV shows, including Ghost Hunters, BuzzFeed Unsolved, and even Ghost Files, solidifying the place as one of America's most haunted places. From a place of healing to suffering, from failed developments to paranormal icon, Waverly Hills remains a haunting reminder of the past. Its history is filled with both tragedy and resilience, making it one of the most fascinating and mysterious places in the United States. But what do you think? Are the spirits of Waverly Hills real, or just the dark echoes of a painful history? If you like this video, leave a like and a comment, and follow for more eerie explanations.